Sino ba ang boss nyo talaga? Yung concessionaires o yung mga tao na nagko-commute yan? If you look at your joint memorandum circular, may penalty yung commuter. Pero yung toll concessionaires, wala kayong inilalagay na penalty. Kung ipalakad yung pagiging attorney mo rito,
I think on
have you
record,
penalized in the past the concessionaires?
hindi pa po na-penalize yung ating mga toll operators, concessionaires.
Bakit nyo atat na i-implement dito? Na i-penalize ninyo yung mga commuters? Nung nga ang violation ng, halimbawa, motorista ako, pumasok ako doon sa Kwan, wala akong kulang yung aking load. What traffic violation would I commit?
Wala po, sir.
Pero ngayon, pumirma kayo ng circular na may violation, pagbabayarin ninyo yung mga tao. For example, specific, pumasok ako ngayon, kulang yung aking load. Anong i-charge mo sa akin?
Wala po, sir.
Wala.
Wala po.
Pero dito, meron na.
Yes, sir.
Bakit ganun?
Hi guys, welcome back. So finally we're using our Insta360 camera today for vlogging. Para matesting ko na rin kasi this is the first time I'll be using it since nung pina-repair ko, di ba yung nga post ko. Few weeks ago when we went to Clark, nahulog siya ng nakakabit sa motor. Di ko pa rin alam how it happened. Kasi pag ni-rosca mo doon sa mount, usually naman talaga sisikipan ko yun. Second, pag dahan-dahan gumagalaw yung mount, makikita mo kasi yung camera iikot eh. Yung palagi nakaharap sa akin yung screen eh. So alam ko pag yung screen hindi na nakaharap sa akin, alam ko na umikot siya. Ito hindi eh. Tapos nahulog lang eh. But I finally got it repaired. Now, I spent 9,000. The option kasi kung official, since yun nga, under warranty supposedly, pero hindi naman covered ng warranty yung damage, is the option is to send to Hong Kong kasi walang service center dito sa Manila when it comes to Insta360, so papadala mo sa Hong Kong. If it's a warranty issue, walang problema yun, padala mo sa Hong Kong, they'll probably fix it, replace it, and send it back to you. Lahat walang extra charge. Pero for accidents like this, those are not covered by warranty. So yung gastos na papuntang ship sa Hong Kong pabalik sa'yo, so that's probably at least 1.5 per way, so mga 3,000. Tapos nagpa-estimate ako, ang estimate nila to replace both lens is around $100 something per lens. So 100 na lang, ilagay na natin sa 100, but it's more it's more, 105 o 1, parang ganun eh. That's already 5,500 per lens. So dalawahin mo, that's 11,000 plus shipping. So you're looking at 14,000 to have it repaired. The only advantage to that is they can guarantee everything is working and they will put it back to specs. Baka pati including all the water seals, the water resistance niya, di ba? Pero sabi ko, ang laking difference, then I'll be out of a camera for a few months. Sabi ko, wag na, okay na tong 9,000. So just go to Gadget Masters in what's that? Walter Mart in North EDSA in case gusto may paparepair kayo yung Insta360. I just had to wait for it eh. Few hours lang niya nagawa na yun. So compare that to maybe 2 to 3 weeks habang naghihintay. Ang masakit pa, I was already going to Hong Kong that weekend. Hindi ko daw pwede walk in. I really have to ship it. So talagang no choice. No choice. Now, when it comes to the water resistance, I don't really use it in extreme weather. For one, I don't really enjoy riding in the rain. Pag umuulan or nafe-feel ko umuulan, dati pa kahit na with the X2, I remove the camera and I put it in my belt bag. So, hindi talaga ganun kalaking issue sa akin yung water resistance. If I plan to dive with it, I'll probably get a diving case anyway. So, what's our topic today? For once, you know, for once, ang saya-saya ko marinig yung mga congressman when they were dealing with LTO, LTFRB, not LTFRB, LTO, DOTR, and TRB. When it came to finding people entering the expressway na kulang sa load o walang RFID, yung titikitan ka tapos may penalty ka 1,000, tapos second offense parang 2, tapos maabot ng 5,000, parang basta ang taas ng penalty. Ang pinaka gusto kong tanong, who are you guys working for? This is the congressman asking the LTO, asking the TRB, asking DOTR. These are Philippine government. So supposedly they are appointed for the people. Kaya tinanong siya, para kanino ba yung trabaho nyo? For the people, the general public who commute and use the tollway, o yung private corporation na kumikita doon sa tolls? Kasi the memorandum of agreement that you guys, or at least the plan nyo to implement, is so one-sided. It's all penalizing only the consumers of the tollways, not the operator. Paano mo ngayon ipoprove na hindi problema ng operator yun? Paano kung nag-load ka lang ng 500, tapos yung system hindi inaccept yung load mo? O yung load mo kinain ng system nila? How are we going to prove it wasn't your fault? May penalty ka na kaagad. Tapos kung napatunayan man na na-delay yung pasok ng pera sa account mo, pero kasalanan ng side nila, wala penalty yun. Ikaw pa rin ang may kasalanan. Ang tanong nga rin ng congressman is the toll barriers, meaning the system, 100% efficient already? Kasi tama yung sabi nila if your system is working flawlessly, people are not going to complain about the fines. Right now, you haven't even given a fully working, efficient system, pero gusto mo mag-penalize na tayo. Di ba parang obvious na parang kinakampihan mo is yung private company. Tapos ang isa pang napag-usapan doon sa hearing, I don't know if it was a hearing but I'll be posting some of the videos here, is kung may error yung, kunyari sira yung toll system, yung toll na yung RFID reader nila hindi makabasa, hindi na pe-penalize ka agad yung operators. They are given chance to fix it. Tapos pag naayos na nila, mawi-waive yung penalty. Ang galing, no? Pero sa atin, if we enter the toll ng walang load, may penalty ka agad. We are not going to be given a chance to fix the problem. Meaning, pag-load ka para sa next time, hindi. Or, yun nga isa pa How are we going to force everyone to have an RFID system? How many people actually live in Metro Manila that uses that? And how many who's outside of Metro Manila who use it maybe once or twice a year? Ang gusto mo mangyari, mag-load sila, mag-iwan ng pera doon, para saan? Alam ba kung gaano kalaking pera ang naiiwan sa load? This is basically free money for the private company who handles the funds, as money for them to use as interest-free loans. Pwede nilang gamitin yan. Wala naman sinasabi, bawal nilang gamitin Second, they can also put it in an investment. They can put it in an account that has interest. Sino kikita ng interest? Kami ba na nag-iwan ng pera doon? Hindi. The interest, yung kumpanya kikita na naman. Sa pera ko Sa pera natin lahat How is that fair? How is that fair? Yun nga dati pa, I've had so many rants about our toll system. In a lot of the countries I've been to, they do have tolls also. They have their RFID. Pero walang barrier. So you just go through. If hindi ka nakuna ng barrier, hindi kasalanan mo, kasalanan nila. Because hindi gumana yung system nila for you to be not captured. Now sabihin mo, sige, natamper ko yung RFID ko, sinadya ko sinira. You have also cameras to shoot the plate number, so you also still know kung sino yon. Tapos hindi ko pa rin kasalanan dapat na hindi mo na-charge because you already have access to my account using my plate number. Eh kung pumasok ako nang wala akong toll, wala akong RFID, walang load, alam mo plate number ko, then bigyan mo ko ng ticket na pwede naman i-issue ng LTO. Pero rather than all this, gusto mo pa rin mag-penalize in a system that is not 100% efficient. Huwag na natin sabihin 100% eh. I think based on my experience, this is based on my experience for every 10 times that I go through the system, 2 or 3 times hindi mababasa. My God, that's 70% lang ang efficiency. Ang baba nun. 70%? You're talking about, for systems like this, it has to be above 95-96% efficiency. Meaning, dapat mga 5 lang ang sumasablay for every 100 cars. Yung friend ko, nagpalipat-lipat na ng RFID eh. Sa kanya naman, 1 out of 2, 1 or 2 out of 10 lang gumagana. 20% of the time. Sila na nagdikit so alam nila saan dapat ididikit yung sticker hindi pa rin gumagana. Dilipat niya, ayaw pa rin gumana. Oh. Tapos sabi pa nga nung congressman, cite me a law that states that kung wala akong load, pwede mo ako tikitan. What is the traffic violation? What is the traffic violation of having no load? What is the traffic violation of having no RFID? Walang masagot si LTO because there's no such thing eh. Ibig sabihin ba pag yung GCash ko walang laman, pwede ako tikitan ng polis? Parang ganun eh. Ano kinalaman nung load ng RFID para tikitan ako? Because I'm not causing anything that sa traffic. Tapos sinabi nila, hindi, because you're causing obstruction sa traffic. Kasi kung wala kang load, babagal, hindi bubukas ang barrier. Eh, sino ba mas madalas ang problema doon sa barrier? Yung walang load o sira yung sistema nila? Sino titikitan ngayon? Doon, ako pa rin? O yung operator? Kasalanan niya, pero kotse ko yung nag-cause ng traffic kasi hindi umangat yung barrier. If that's now going to be a rule na pag hindi umangat ang barrier, pwede ka tikitan, Ay, nako. And I really applaud itong hearing ng mga congressman. Finally, it makes a lot of sense. Kasi nga, bakit nga minamadali ng LTO, ng TRB, ng DOTR ipasa itong mga penalty when hindi pa nga efficient yung system? You're not even penalizing these toll operators for them to actually want to upgrade their system. Pinagbibigyan mo pag may sablay, ayusin mo, basta naayos mo, tapos bigyan mo lang ako ng compliance, okay na. Ang galing, no? May second chance sila, pero tayo yung gumagamit, tayo yung dapat binoprotektahan ng gobyerno natin, tayo ang wala nung second chance. Tapos isa pa nga tanong how much dapat ang load na sa 1,000 kundi mako-consider as low balance ka? How many people can afford to have 1,000 always nandyan lang, walang ginagawa yung pera mo? 1 million cars at 1,000 is how much? 1 billion. Ganun kalaking pera. Ganun kalaking pera if 1 million cars in Metro Manila maglagay ng RFID at lalagyan nila ng 1,000. Pag hindi nila ginamit, there's 1 billion inside. Kanino mapupunta yung 1 billion? Who has access to that 1 billion? Kayo na lang mag-isip. Guys, magpaparehistro lang tayo muna dito. Since it's already September, renewal na ng pera. Another reason why dito ka na magpapa-inspection, dalang renewal, meron na siyang office at gilid. So we will get to test it out today kung ganito nga kabilis dito. Ay, nako, got so excited na nandun na yung LTO Extension Office sa tabi ng inspection center. But sadly, fail. Kasi nga, iba yung portal number ng sasakyan na to. I'm not sure if it was created by LTO or it was from the previous owner, because remember, I bought this second hand. So I don't have access to that password. So ngayon, hindi ko ma-rehistro because I don't know the password for that. Ay, nakasayang. Now, I have to go, I'm on my way now to LTO Makati branch kasi daw hindi kailangan ng password. Isa-scan lang yung QR code. Okay na. Okay, so we're just done sa Pililla to the LTO in Pililla to renew the Terra. The good thing is, di ba kanina sumablay nga tayo dun sa LTO extension office, is it only took me less than 20 minutes to actually do the whole thing. Mas matagal pa yung biyahe ko galing sa inspection papunta sa Pililla and then to find parking. So, less than 20 minutes. Tapos, after I renew it, after ako nag-renew, I asked them how to transfer this vehicle into my portal. So, hiningi lang yung, they just photocopy or scanned my license. Tapos, ililipat na daw sa portal. So, in 1 week daw, hopefully, it will be transferred to my portal. So, yun yung hope natin. That's the hope. Okay. So, thank you guys. So, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. Bye.